Hello, I'm Jashikins, and I'm doing a review today. Now, if you want to request a review, you can. If it's a book, a show, or a movie, you can request. I do accept requests, but only through my post on Patreon, which is Patreon only. And if you want to reach that post, if you're watching on the YouTubes, link down below. And if you're watching on my bloggity blog, link up above. So what is today's review? Twilight. Now, I actually did a little wardrobing today, and I was going with my Twilight t-shirt of Buffy stabbed Edward the end, but I decided on this love t-shirt instead. I haven't worn this nearly enough. It's awesome. So anyway, Twilight is not a good book. I will start off with saying that it is not a good book. If you are looking for some great literature that will be remembered by the ages, of which will be taught in schools, colleges, university, which will have thousands and thousands of essays written about it, about all the themes and the nuances. That's not this book. Twilight is not that book. However, if you are looking for a fucking fun time, this is the book. This is a book you sort of are having, this hard day, and then, I just need to relax. Then you pick up Twilight, and it's also great if you're a writer that hasn't been published yet, and you're just like, I don't know if my book is good enough. This is also good. If you can't tell, Twilight is sort of a guilty-ish pleasure for me. I say guilty-ish because I will freely admit I like Twilight. I mean, I won't go up to someone like, yeah, I love Twilight, but I'll be like, yeah, it's enjoyable. It's crap, but I love it to a certain extent. And for all those of you who haven't yet read the book and are worried about spoilers, there's going to be spoilers in this review. And if you're someone who couldn't give a shit about reading Twilight and don't care about spoilers, continue. So, yeah. Part 1. Twilight headcanon in Book 1. In my desire to make Twilight intriguing to me, I came up with a headcanon. And I do make up headcanons from time to time to help me throughout a book or a show. It's usually my mind keeping like, I need to get through this. I need to get through this. So yeah. This headcanon made things actually make sense, and the whole series became infinitely more enjoyable after looking at it. And I will only be talking about the parts of the headcanon that relate to this book, since this review isn't a review of the entire Twilight series, it's just of this book. First off, sorry, I'm using a Word document. I just pressed the wrong thing I made. Yeah. Anyways, let's restart that part. First off is that both Renee and Charlie, Bella's parents, don't really care about her. They do worry about her, but are more than willing to let things slide. This is shown by them not getting her clumsiness issues looked at. I am extremely clumsy, and even I pale in comparison to Bella. I mean, my fiance will make jokes about me, walking across the room, and it's just like like I will bump into the room and suddenly something in another room will crash, turn on a car, and then a car in another state will explode. Like, I can sometimes do the whole feat of walking across a surface and falling the fuck down. And even I am not as clumsy as Bella Swan is. Bella Swan is in a whole new level of clumsy. It's like it stopped being cute really early on. It's like, no, I'm actually seem like a stable fucking individual compared to you, Bella. This is worrying. This is not a good thing at all. They are also willing to let her make life decisions like moving to Forks. The mother's just like, yeah, you fuck off, you just go, Bella, just go. I don't give a shit. Just go, just go. Fuck it. They allow her to cook for them merely to allow her to feel important. Come on, these are two fucking adults. Okay, I can't really cook. But, like, the extent that Bella is taking care of them is, like, they don't have the ability to feed themselves. Like, that's the extent. Like, I can't cook, but I can make stuff. I can heat stuff up. You leave me alone for a week. You just give me some food and I will be fine. That's not the case of, like, Charlie saying, like, yeah, I've lived by myself for a while. I'll be fine, Bella. And Bella's like, I have to cook for him. He can't take care of himself. It's all up to me. Bella Swan. Like, there's a level surpassed. So they're just allowing her to cook for them just so she can, feel important. Some of the people in Forks do know about the Cullens being vampires. I mean, really, the Cullens do such a poor job at blending in. They look really beautiful and have more expensive things than anyone else. They also get food at lunch, but don't eat. I mean, as Bella is describing this scene of the Cullens having food but not eating, like, someone's. That's not a good job. You're not hiding your cover at all. Even in the Anwar series, when the Yerks, like Tom's Yerk, gets him out of doing basketball, it's like a little odd, but it's nothing to really draw your attention to it. The Cullens, yeah, we need to hide amongst people, but let's make it fucking obvious that something is off, so people might become curious. I mean, someone besides Bella has got to notice that the Cullens are more than odd. Jacob Black is the one to alert some of the kids. Mike, Jessica, and Eric, and Lauren for sure. He does believe the legends, but after Billy, his father, found out he was spilling secrets, he is both cut off from the flow of information and doesn't act like he believes the legends. Jacob Black, I mean, is just if he can like just casually say shit to Bella, who's to say he hasn't said shit to the other kids? I mean, Bella can't be the first. I don't think it can be possible. Just like, and so once Mike and friend and gang found out, once once Jacob told Mike and gang, they would put two and two together. I mean, because no one can fucking hear that odd fucking legend about the Cullens and then go, oh yeah, but the Cullens are totally fucking normal. They don't show any signs of oddity. I mean, it's totally, the legends aren't true. The Cullens are totally fucking normal. I mean, God. The reason Mike, Jessica, etc. becomes friends with Bella is to make sure that she stays away from the Cullens. They hope that by acting kind, she won't interact with the vampires, and the vampires will have no reason to come after her. Just saying like, yeah, they're trying to create a barrier so that she won't be drawn to the Cullens. And then the Cullens will go, hey, we're only really looking for ones that won't cause any trouble. And if Bella's too connected with the group of friends, they might decide, hey, yeah, too much trouble. We'll leave you guys alone. Because they are still trying to hide, but they're really fucking bad at it. They might think they're hiding, like, yeah, we're hiding. I don't fucking know. Maybe old age has like fucked up their minds now. But I mean, seriously, you can't fucking hide like they are. They buy more expensive things. Like, look at this really shiny car. We're totally more beautiful than normal people. We're not eating at lunch. They can't hide. They can't hide words. I'm sorry I keep on coming back to this point, but it really fucking bugs me. I mean, it just, like, they seriously think they're hiding like that? Yeah, we don't really take out the really expensive cars when we go to school. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to move on, or else I'm just going to be stuck on that one point for the rest of the review. And yeah, we have other stuff to do. Edward Cullen is able to read Bella's mind. There are a few instances where the coincidences just seem far-fetched. Even for this book. He has an interest in her, but it is an abuser's kind of interest. Sort of like he views her as a toy. For anyone who has been emotionally or physically abused, I've been emotionally abused in the past. There are times when, the abusers just like, seems like they care. But in reality, they don't, because all their actions towards you are made to make themselves feel better by saying, look at what I'm doing for this person. So that's really what his actions appear like. The Cullen family is a little bit of a cult. Carlisle, after spending time with the Volturi, decides he wants to bring that organization down, as well as any other vampire leadership that springs up after its destruction. Alice has seen Bella as their best hope. Those of the Cullens who disagree with their endgame don't act nice to Bella. As they are part of a cult, they don't break off from the family. Now, it's You get a cult, you get so connected, you don't want to break off. So they might disagree, they might just act like, no way, don't want this. But because they're so pulled together, they don't leave and they end up doing stuff for the cult. Cullen's cult. I was thinking this part was the most insane part of this headcanon, and then I remembered the last book. You know, I was like, the Cullen cult is just that's just insane. This is the most fucking insane thing. Okay, this headcanon has fully fallen apart now. No way could this work. Then I'm like, wait a minute. Breaking Dawn. This could actually work. This headcanon could actually work. Oh, good. Okay, that's the end of part 1. Let me drink a little. Oh, fuck. Come on. So it took like a few seconds for it to decide, yeah, you want to bring the group chat up for the live show? Yeah, we're not going to fucking do that. Okay, there's no one in the live show asking questions, giving comments, so guess we move on. Part 2. Bella is a teen girl edgelord. I mean, I sort of like the term edgelord once I heard it. I'm like, that's a cool term. I like it. I think I'll start to use it. Ah, jeez. The prologue is the only time I have any sympathy for Bella. That is only because I'm not familiar with her yet. I don't know. I think it's because, yeah, we don't really know about Bella during the prologue. That the writing doesn't really seem that bad. It's like, okay, we don't know this situation yet. I mean, it's a little cheesy, but it's, okay cheesy. It might be justified with the rest of the book. Then you read the rest of the book and you're like, fuck it. Die, Bella. Die. Bella takes any act of kindness as a bad thing, the majority of the time. Minus when Charlie gets her a truck and puts on tire chains. Like, those two acts of kindness are the only times Bella reacts like a fucking human being. It's like, oh yay, my dad got me a fucking truck, now I don't have to spend the money. Yay! Yay! Got the truck, don't have to pay anything. It's an old truck, but yay, don't have to pay. And if you're someone with not a lot of money, like me, god damn, I'm fucking poor. You know that anytime you can save costs, it's always a fucking good thing. And then Charlie puts on the ice chains. Let me make sure I use. Yeah, I puts on tire chains. Sorry, I live in Florida. If I'm not looking at the word at the term, I will fucking forget it because it doesn't snow here. Like, it might have snowed like once every other blue moon, only for a short time, then it melts. So yeah, we don't have to worry about tire chains. Sorry. So anyways, back to the tire chains in the book. Bella notices that there's tire chains like, oh, he did something nice for me. And she's actually grateful. Good job for acting like a human being, Bella. When Mike is just acting like a moderately nice guy by offering to walk her to class, she starts to refer to him as a dog. Like, all he's fucking doing is, being a nice person, not forcing himself on you or anything, just saying like, hi, how you doing? And then like, oh yeah, let me help you to the building. And it's like, oh, okay, I got like a little map I can follow. But it's like, so having someone walk with you is actually much better, because then you don't have to focus, am I going the right way or anything? You're able to look at your surroundings and focus on that. But that one bit of kindness is like, oh, he's being too kind to me. He's like a little golden retriever. Do you just want to be sad, Bella? Do you? It's like she's just suddenly appeared over there. And really funny thing is that you can't see it right now, but I just pointed to the desk where she could not walk from, unless she was a ghost. Always possible. Yeah. Multi dimensions. She just crosses over in this dimension. She comes as a ghost. Conversely, Bella takes any mean, bad actions as a good thing. This is either because it allows her to feel bad about herself. It's not until around 50 fucking pages in that we actually find out why she really went to Forks. Before that, it is moaning and self-importance. I mean, seriously, it's like, okay, why is she going to Forks? Oh, she just wants to be sad and fucking miserable. Again and again. Oh no, I'm moving to Forks. I hate Forks. I swore to myself I'd never come back. It's not until 50 pages in that she actually shows that she has a good reason to moving to Forks. And she takes any mean, bad actions as also making her feel heroic. How stupidly she goes into James's death trap. I mean, Alice even remarks in one of her visions that she sees a TV. Couldn't Bella, spend, I don't know, a second or two going, hey, James could have just used a home video with her voice. Because, we have home videos, and my mom's voice would definitely be on that. And I know that there's going to be a TV involved. Really? Didn't see any of that, Bella. Our heroine, folks. And the final reason that she takes any bad actions as a good thing is it makes her feel loved. Edward has mood swings and is violent, and he acts meanly distant a lot of the time. I mean, before they actually start interacting, it's like, it's like, why the fuck are you still pursuing him, Bella? You end up having 3 other guys you could choose from. I mean, Mike would have been my pick, because he's nice, he's kind, Eric is decent, Tyler is just fucking obsessive, But you see, Tyler is obsessive, but since he's not a vampire or werewolf, he's a bad person. He's a normal person. Worth it. It's like Edward doesn't. I mean, guys start treating me like that. I'm like, okay, I'll admire him from afar, maybe, but I'm not considering him a dating option, and I'm going to move on. Because even the many years I was single, not that desperate. No. Bella, near the end of the book, wants to become a vampire. She's afraid of being old and considers human life beneath her. I mean, seriously, she's like, "Oh my god, I'm going to become, old, and I'll have like, oh, gray hair, and I'm going to die." I'm not saying that I don't have like a fear of death, but my fear of death is more of a fear of the unknown rather than death itself. If that makes any fucking sense to you. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. I'm not going to go into explanations for that. But, there comes a point when it's like, why is this supposed to be Theronian who is so desperate not to grow old and die? Usually that's a good motive for a villain. Like, I'm not going to die. I can't die. I will do anything not to die. And it's, the good guys that are like, okay, I'm going to die. So what? I'm going to do the thing. I'm not going to risk my morals. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Peter Quill, instead of having these godlike powers, decides to give them up just so the galaxy will be saved. He didn't. If he was more of Bella's point of view, it would have been like, yeah, I'm going to become this godlike thing. Screw the fucking universe. I'm going to be fucking super powerful. It's just strange. Her dependence on the supernatural, aka the Cullens, and a dismissal of people who care for her parents, Charlie and Renee, really makes me want to punch her. She is fucking more than willing to give up her life, give up everything just so she can be with this hot guy she just met, just so she won't grow old and die. And she's willing to say, fuck you, mom, fuck you, dad, I'm out of here. Now, my parents, my dad's a cunt, my mom's but even besides that, I have siblings. I have siblings, a half brother and a half sister. And then besides that, I have friends and I have a life among sort of normal people. I'm not going to fucking give that up just because I don't want to grow old and die and I want to be with this really hot guy. Our hero, folks. Fuck. Fucking Bella. Okay, and small little come on chat. Okay, there you go. The chat's wanting to hide from me today. Okay, small little break as we catch our breath. Just doing the hate from Bella. And if you want to comment in the group chat, the live chat for this live show, feel free. And as there's no viewers and no people commenting in the group chat here, let's continue. Hang on. Okay, yeah. I also use this time to drink if I need to maybe adjust the temperature in the room. I'm selfish. On to part 3. The writing is horrible in places. I'm not saying that the writing is horrible because it glorifies an abusive relationship or that the vampires sparkle. I am saying the writing is horrible because grammar and punctuation is abhorrent in certain places. Just a few examples. If there are any other examples you have found in this book that have fucking pissed you off, grammar and punctuation only, please comment below and we can start a nice conversation about happy times. There's a point near the beginning where Bella is describing the light coming through leaves. She uses greenly. I had to put the book down at that point and stare into the abyss. I mean, no matter... I think I've read this book 3 times. The second time it was in, I don't think, all the way through. For a reason. And always when it reaches that greenly part, I am just... Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk to you again. I don't know, that greenly thing always fucking irritates me. It's just... like, I will forget everything else, but I will remember that greenly part from Twilight. Okay, next. When a character is hot, it's good to remind readers of that every now and again, because it's part of their physical appearance that is very important to them. So, you know, you need to remind readers every now and again, like, yeah, remember, this character looks like this character is considered a model, blah, blah, blah. Every now and again, just to remind people of an important trait. Rachel from the Animorphs books is described as a model. In Twilight, Edward is supposed to be super hot. The difference between the two series is that every time Bella describes Edward, she always has to mention how hot he is. Like, we're going to all of a sudden forget that. I mean, seriously, it's like this angel, like using all these words to describe him every fucking single time. It's like, give it a break. Can you go one sentence talking about Edward without describing how hot he is? Trust me. We won't forget. Your readers aren't fucking morons. Okay? We'll remember, okay? Ooh, we'll remember that he is hot. Besides his abusive traits, the hotness is definitely the thing that we'll remember. Okay, that's the end of part 3. Woo! And I'll just take a break here. I'm going to turn the temperature down a degree. Whenever I'm doing blog work in the room, I always set the AC to something a little bit cooler, and when I'm not really working in here, I'll turn it up a little. Just because I use the AC to help also keep my laptop cool. And no viewers have joined, and nothing in the group chat, so I will continue. It's probably creepy. Part 4. Mike would have had Bella avoid all the sparkly vampires. Bella takes the majority of kind actions as distasteful. She wants to be miserable, and so anyone who holds out a hand for her, she doesn't tend to like. Mike is a very kind and helpful person. I think even Charlie is like, yeah, that's a good guy. Well, Mike is a good guy. He's nice. And he's not one of those nice guys that once you reject him, he's suddenly turns to a fucking cunt. I mean, imagine if Bella rejected Edward. It's like, okay, Edward, you can go. Oh my god. I need to stop giving myself fanfic ideas. I swear to fucking god, over the last like 3 or 4 days, I've had all these ideas like, this would make a good fanfic if I had the time. Bella meets Mike on her first day of school in Forks. For her first day, she believes herself undesirable and then finds herself being pursued by 2 men. Later, there is a third. Mike helps Bella learn her way around the campus and later invites her to a little beach party. Whenever I read Twilight, I think how great it would be if only Bella would go out with Edward. It isn't just because the series would involve sparkly vampires, but because her unhealthy relationship with Edward would be gone. Like, okay, sparkly vampires, okay, I can stand it. An abusive relationship? No. Even a cunt like Bella deserves a nice, healthy relationship. Mike would treat Bella like a human and not a plaything as Edward does. I mean, fucking hell. Edward watches Bella as she sleeps. Good boyfriend material. Very good boyfriend material. I don't care that he sparkles so much as that he does abusive shit. Watches her as she sleeps. I mean, if my fiance watched me as I sleep, that's okay. We're sleeping together. If he wants to roll over and look at me, that's fine, because he's supposed to be there. He didn't exactly break in. Once Bella opened up to Mike, then she could get her emotional issues sorted out in a healthy manner instead of whatever the fuck goes on between her and Edward. You know, instead of that, it'd be nice and healthy and work things out. And Mike is the kind of guy that would listen, that would understand. Like, oh, you feel this way, don't worry. Maybe, who knows? Maybe Mike could even convince Bella to go see a psychiatrist or psychologist. Or fuck, just a counselor. Just to get help, you know? In any case, do it in a healthy manner instead of the Bella Edward bullshit. Mike never tries to push Bella into things. He is quick to back away when she doesn't show interest in him. Is he jealous? Not as jealous as Edward, who pries into people's minds and watches Bella as she sleeps. I mean, even when fucking Bella asks him, look it, allow me to have my privacy, you know, don't go looking into people's minds. He's like, haha, no. Mike is a healthy kind of jealous. Sure, he's jealous, but he's not the unhealthy kind. No, jealousy isn't really an issue. It's how you react to jealousy. Do you do something insane because you're jealous? That's not healthy. Get that shit under control. Are you just like, damn, I wish she was with me. That'd be so great. Then don't do anything to interfere with her life or her current relationship? Da-da, good, jealousy, that's okay. Alas, Mike Bella never had a chance of becoming canon because Twilight is about vampires and unhealthy relationships. That's the book series, folks. Vampires, unhealthy relationships. Woo! And okay, the final break before we get to the final part. Okay, even though there's no viewers, I'm still going to open the chat just so I have a moment to, relax, unwind. Okay, no viewers. I was hoping that since, in the afternoon that maybe people would be on and watching. Because of just where I moved and just getting adjusted, I can't easily plan these videos out like I was in the past, so. Okay. Nothing in the chat, no viewers. Let's continue. Okay, that thing was just on the screen. Okay, let me keep that face there. Okay, sorry, I just gained something off the screen. Sorry, folks. Doing stuff live. Okay, the final and fifth part of this review. I don't mind the sparkly vampires as much as most. One of the biggest things that is brought up whenever Twilight is mentioned is how Stephenie Meyer handles vampires. One of the many grievances thrown against Twilight vampires is that they sparkle. The only reason they sparkle is to give an excuse why they can't go outside in the sunlight. So it's like it sparkles. Like it's something funny to throw around and make jokes, and I did plenty of that in this review so far, but it is by far the least worst thing in this book and in this series in general. There's many, many more things to go on and focus on than this sparkly aspect. Yeah, it's like... People also say that them going out in daytime isn't like how vampires of old were done. Unlike you would assume, vampires haven't always been harmed by sunlight. So this complaint is one born out of ignorance and or a need to hate on the Twilight vampires. So, yeah, it wasn't always that way. I double-checked while outlining this review and skimmed an article and was like, yeah, okay, just making sure I remembered what I remembered. So folks, if you're like, yeah, vampires can't go out in the daylight, and that's the reason why the Twilight vampires suck, look up your vampire history. Vampires could, in the past, go out in the sunlight. One oddity is that Twilight vampires don't need to feast on human blood to survive. Though I don't think that is a bad thing on its own. In Supernatural Season 2, we see a vampire who leads a group feast on cattle blood. They do that to hide from the presence of humans. It is a survival tactic to better survive. It's like the vampires are well aware in the Supernatural universe about people known as hunters who go out for creatures of the night. And so who would kill them? So, you have a higher body count, means more likely that hunters are going to notice you and come after you. And that even normal people would be going, hey, that's sort of odd. Okay. In Twilight, the Cullens, and at least one or two other groups, drink animal blood because they feel bad about killing humans. The good vampires don't want to deal with how they're actually monsters. It takes a little bit of their badassery away. It's like it's basically like drinking animal blood to the Twilight vampires. It's like, I feel bad about myself. I don't feel good. I'm depressed about being this super cool, species that's nearly indestructible. No, I feel bad about that. I'm just not going to drink human blood, No. Mm. So to me, that just, the reasoning takes a little bit of their badassery away. It's like, I feel bad about myself. I think I'm a monster. I mean, Edward fucking remarks in numerous parts of the book, I'm a monster. I'm a horrible person. And them drinking animal blood seems to be like an external showing of how much they pity themselves. I mean, I'm not saying that I think it's horrible that they drink animal blood and not kill humans. But Carlisle works in the hospital, so they would actually have a supply of blood that they could use, of human blood. So they won't have to kill humans, but they could still drink human blood. I don't really have a problem with the Cullens jokingly calling themselves vegetarians, as it's stated in canon that it's a joke. It's just like this joke, this inside joke we have. It's stupid, it's silly, but it's our fucking joke, and we fucking love it. So I don't mind it. It's not like they're seriously saying, we're actually vegetarians. And we have no clue what a vegetarian is. Now it's stated as a joke, so it's like, some vampires are given special gifts. I think there may have been a misreading on Carlisle's part of why Edward can read minds. It's stated in canon that Carlisle believes Edward's gift of mind reading comes from the fact that he was so good at reading people when he was human. If that were the case, then he wouldn't have as much trouble as he does reading Bella. Instead, I think Edward's gift of mind reading stems from the fact that he is a manipulator/abuser. A manipulator/abuser would need to carefully plan how to keep a victim in their grasp until they grew bored. It's like, okay, I'm going to be this top-notch abuser manipulator. Mind reading is a gift. Okay. That's it for this review. I can turn on the group chat now, so if anyone comes in late and wants to say something, ta-da. Although if you've come in late, you probably won't hear this until you replay this in full. Oh god, I'm such a horrible fucking person. But anyways. Okay. But anyways. If you want to read the first Twilight book, if you're like, okay, Josh says this is fun, I can see by the review that it's not a good book, but it's fun. If you want to buy the book yourself for whatever reason. If you are watching this on the YouTubes, link in the description. If you're watching on my blog, link above. And also remember, you can request a review, but don't request any of the 4 main Twilight books because I will be covering them. Don't worry. And if you are watching this on the YouTubes, please subscribe and like this video. And if you're watching this on my blog day blog and watching on the desktop version, go to wherever the fuck the sidebar thingamajig is and choose the follow by email option. And you will be alerted every time I make a new post. And I'm asking you to do this because in my day-to-day life, I am not giving the attention and respect I deserve, so I come to you, people of the interwebs. And as for the next review, I will be reading the second book in the Twilight series. Twilight series. I refuse to call it saga because I feel that's giving it too much respect. The Twilight series. New Moon. Woo! Now, I am not sure when I will have the review of it out, just because it depends how long it takes me to read it. I try to at least get 50 pages a day done. So after that I can read the book I'm reading outside of these reviews. Currently doing a reread of the entire Animorphs series, and if I'm not reading an Animorphs book that day, Pokemon Moon. So yeah. So I just try to do 50 pages a day so I can get what I actually want to do. Which is still read this, actually. Sometimes I do get the 50 page and like, I want to continue. But anyways, next review will be the second book in the Twilight series, New Moon by Stephanie Meyer. So if you want to see how I cover the main books, you want to see my opinions on them, please subscribe. And until next video, goodbye.